Lurch, I think you should start us out with an email.
Okay. This one is from Kevin Lockhead. Hi, Ryan. I want to thank you for all the great content that you put out there. Whenever I am Googling something regarding my bike, time and time again, Law-Abiding Biker comes up as a suggestion for the best answer and want you to know that I appreciate it.
I love being Googled. Gently.
Yeah, you don't want to rough Google.
No.
I wanted to reach out for your assistance, and if you're not too busy to share, I am pretty certain you'll have the right answer. I'm watching your video regarding the Box GTS Upgrade. The video is a little over a year old, I think, and you were still figuring it out a bit, but here's my situation. I have a 2014 Street Glide. I believe yours is the same year. That's correct. It is a standard, not a special, so my stereo is all push button, no touch screen. Kind of crappy, to say the least. I went into Harley today to take the plunge on the new Boom GTS, but they told me it was for 2019 and newer bikes. They said I can get a 6.5 version that has part touchscreen and part push button. The guy was looking in the manual, but when I went on the Harley site, it did say that it was compatible with 2014. Your video also seems to confirm that as well. Is there something I'm missing or something that I can point the Harley rep to so he can get me the most current GTS version in my bike? In your video, you mentioned that the 6.5 version amounts to a paperweight at this point. I don't want to upgrade if shelling out the cash equates a glorified paperweight. Any advice you can provide would be greatly appreciated. Thanks for all the videos and any insight you can provide on my question. So here's our answer. It's an issue with the software version that's installed in some of the GTS units, meaning they weren't originally designed to be retrofitted, but when Harley figured out that there was a need for that, then they made some changes so that you could retrofit it. So the thing is, you have to be careful with the older boom boxes. They've got a software version on them that doesn't recognize the 2014 through 2018 bikes. And for the Street Glide, that's part number 760079, and for the Road Glide, it's 7600-783. Now, the newer Boombox GTS units, and they'll have a part ending in either an A or B, will recognize 2014 and 2018 bikes. So the workaround for installing an older part number, if you do end up with one, it's kind of a pain in the ass, but it can be done. You need to install it in a 2019 or newer bike, update the software, then you can remove it and put it in a 2014 to 2018 bike. So it can be done. It's just cumbersome. The Boombox unit must be hooked up to a 29. I already said that. So the later versions of the GTS version have the updated software, which at the time of this answer was 19.19.00.03. It's probably newer now. They can just simply be flashed. We've been told, and take this for what it's worth, that there are still a lot of the new in the box GTS units out there that don't have the A or the B number. So make sure that you get the correct one if you're looking to upgrade without having to install it in another bike and remove it.
And I'm looking at the Law-Abiding Biker website for you guys. We have an incredible search functionality. On desktop, it's up in the upper right-hand corner. On mobile, you just have to scroll down. It is very spot on. So a lot of people send us emails, and that's great, and we love hearing from you. If you want faster answers, use that search function because it will usually get, that's actually what we look in our own website because we've put 10 years of content, and we forget, but we know we've done it. So we literally answer emails by going into our website. We just go to the search bar, and I'm going to search Boom Box Conversion. All right. And it's popping up right here. Harley Boombox Conversion. That's Senna speakers. Here we are. Second article, new Harley Boombox GTS conversion, how to retrofit and upgrade video. And what Lurch just told you, all that information along with part numbers. Obviously, there are the videos there if you want to watch it, but there's a complete article that we could have just linked to here and sent. And it basically, it's probably where Lurch got a lot. We haven't notes to Evernotes, but right here, fitment is taken. Yep. We've got the PN, the A, it's a plethora of information. So if you want that, Lurch will put this in the show notes. And it's lawabidingbiker.com/Harley-boom-box-GTS-upgrade. The easiest way Lurch is adding it right now is the show notes to any podcast episode. It's lawabidingbiker.com/ and whatever episode number this ends up being, you just /322 if that was it, or 333 or whatever the episode number is. That's how you can get the show notes. And of course, we try to put all the things we talk about and the links in there for you, and Lurch will be doing that for you. In fact, as we speak right now. So
doing
thank
it live.
you, Kevin Lockhead. We really, really appreciate that. And we've been over this, but it's always good to go over it again and just clear things up for everybody and know, just like we've said, in fact, the past episode we just recorded, we're batch recording. We said Harley dealerships oftentimes are not educated, and you've got to actually teach them and educate it. And not all of them are humble enough, but a lot of them are humble enough. You can just take them that article and say, actually, here's a video and an article of somebody that's did it. Here's how it needs to be done. Here's the part numbers we need to use. And so we appreciate the question and you bringing this up and bringing it back to the forefront of people's attention for all that want to do that. lawabidingbiker.com/contact. He left a form submission over there. We appreciate that. You can also leave it in voicemail format. We love to hear your lovely voices and play those messages right over on that same contact page with the microphone built into your computer or your phone. Anywhere in the world, it is free. And we love, again, to hear those pretty voices. And we love these kind of emails because it helps the community and we can share it and it lets us know what kind of questions people have out there. So thank you very much for sending that contact in. Any follow-up on that, Lurch?
No, other than we do get a lot of technical questions when it comes to boom boxes and head units, that kind of stuff. And I think it's because you are the high-tech redneck. But it does seem to be a common question for bikers out there is how to use that system.
It is because the dealerships don't know like that. They're just not educated on it. So, yeah, good deal. Lurch?
Yeah.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
We're going on a trip.
Yes, we are.
And we're leaving.
Statement.
It is a statement.
You'll get to the question eventually.
As of 2 days from now. By the time you hear this podcast, we will be back from our trip. But do you want to know during the trip how to maintain a fresh smelling and squeaky clean butt? Because it's going to get soiled.
Good chance.
It's going to get sweaty.
Definitely.
It's going to, that 3:30 p.m. mustard ass hour.
The Fremunda cheese?
Oh, what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Right. Now, we have a solution to the problem.
What's that?
That we've come up with through excruciating experimentation. Some of it pleasurable experimentation.
What?
Okay. This is a pleasurable experience.
I suppose.
And here's how you fix it. I'm going to tell you how, Lurch. I know you already know, but I'm going to tell you anyways, because that's what I do. You just simply, we're going to get hooked up, which we already are, in our saddlebags with Dude Wipes flushable wet wipes. Now, I'm going to have the big pack, which we always do. We share.
Yep.
And in our luggage. And when one runs out, and first thing we do when we get into a hotel room, the Dude Wipes pack goes up on the back of the bowl, on the top of it. One of us throws them up there. Whoever's feeling most generous.
Whoever gets to it first, generally.
Right, generally. Usually whoever has to take a poop first.
Yeah.
Usually Lurch. So I generally use Lurch's because he poops a lot. Now, in addition to that, because we're going to be out riding in between hotel rooms every night, we're going to be out riding, and sometimes you got to drop a deuce at a convenience store we stop at or a honey bucket, and we are going to have the travel wipes with us, the travel version. Mm-hmm. We have tried and tested these guys. I'm telling you, once you use them, you'll be hooked. It's an addiction similar to that of cocaine.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, yeah, close.
I mean,
I wouldn't know, but
I told you I forgot one.
No, I'm just saying like cocaine.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Good point. Your butt will smell like a breath of fresh air. And no longer when you walk by your wife, will she be mad at you. In fact, you could do it twice. Mm-hmm. And she still won't be mad, dude. So here's the deal. Because after you do that, all she's going to smell is a breath mint. Because you've used mint Dude Wipes. Just like that, bro. So support us, guys. We appreciate all your support. We've gotten a lot of support, and we do heavily use these things. Support us. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/fresh-butt. That's fresh-butt. lawabidingbiker.com/fresh-butt. No additional cost to you when you use that link, but we do get a small commission if you click through and purchase Dude Wipes. Again, highly recommended. And you see the reason I was complaining, go ahead, because my computer, my second monitor went tits up. Can we still say that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it
PC? I don't know, but I don't care. It's an official term. My father taught it to me, so it's got to be real.
There you go. My dad taught it to me too.
And it doesn't have. It could be teats up. It just meaning
Teats.
something. Something's dead. Something on
Nipples up.
It's on its back. It's gone out. So it could be. It doesn't have to be a woman, but preferably it is.
There, I'm back up and running.
I was going to say,
just random.
Speaking of the Dude Wipes, I was really disappointed the other day. I didn't have the greatest experience with one, and it's really all your fault, to be honest. I was over here servicing your bike for you because you've been pretty busy.
Did they dry out?
Yeah.
Because we haven't worked together, dude, and we left it open.
Yep. We haven't worked together in about a month, and I'm guessing.
I should say you left it open.
No, not open. It just, they're not perfectly sealed, obviously.
No, and they've been sitting for a month.
For a while.
Yeah. We haven't worked together over here a month, at least a month.
So obviously you haven't been coming out here and dropping deuces in the studio. You must have been going inside.
I've been letting my family enjoy the smell of my mintness in the house. I like to keep that in the house.
I went in there and grabbed one, and it was dry, and it just doesn't have the same effect when it's dry. So I'm going to need you in the future when we have bigger gaps in working together to come out here and drop one once in a while, just so those packs don't get dried out.
I will. Right, we need a sealed container or something, dude. And by the way, I said your wife won't care anymore. We have a lot of ladies listeners. If you walk by your husband and do that, same thing.
Yeah.
He's going to appreciate it.
That's right.
He's going to look at you and go, honey.
Your butt smells like a fresh breath of fresh air.
Let's head to the bedroom. Because you smell like mints. All right. It's enough of that nonsense. Here's the deal. This is, the last was serious too, but this is serious. So as bikers, we all know that unexpected things can happen. That's life. We get it. We're ready. Now, many of us are prepared for that mechanical issue. Of course, we're all carrying our Cruise Tools roadside emergency repair kits that we bought right from the Law Abiding Biker store, tried and tested by us. Because why do you want to get a tow truck over a simple roadside repair and or be stranded or F your rest of your trip up? We've used it extensively on trips and it kept us on the road. But here's a more serious issue than a motorcycle breakdown alerts. That's an injury to you or someone you're riding with. Now, why would you risk not being prepared for that, bikeaholics? Think about it. That's why we brought the Law Abiding Biker First Aid and Trauma Kit right to our store. I might say at a very affordable price.
Very affordable.
We wanted to keep it there. We want people to have these. There's no reason. Yes.
We've been selling the bejesus out of them.
We have. I don't know how much a bejesus is, but if there's a bejesus, we've sold them. And the bejesus out of them. All right. So we've given you no reason not to be prepared with this small and easily storable biker prepared first aid kit. So we really thought this biker first aid kit out before we brought it to the store. It had been in the works for a while. We want to make sure that it had the necessities without overdoing it. That was my main thing when I was talking to Lurch about this when we were researching them. I didn't want it to overdo it because bikers, we can all overdo it with accessories. We wanted a first aid kit. Again, necessities, keep it small, don't overdo it. What does a biker actually need? So we decided it comes with everything you need, such as a plethora of different sized bandages, gauze, compression dressing, medical tape, latex gloves, whistle, scissors, rescue blanket, and most importantly, that military tourniquet that can save a life, especially for that bigger trauma. And all these items are inside a very tightly packed, easily stowable, tactical nylon MOLLE bag measuring only 8 by 4 by 4 inches. And best of all, is that our design kit is biker approved because it has our name right on the outside of the kit. It's not something you should have with you at all times, but a must have at all times, guys. We're leaving on a trip and we're all going to be carrying them. No excuses. Get the Law Abiding Biker First Aid and Trauma Kit right in the Law Abiding Biker store. We've got them in stock right now. And of course, if you end up using it, please send us a little story about it so we can share with the rest of the community. We appreciate everybody's support. It was highly requested. We finally did it. And so we appreciate you coming over and not buying something else. It's going to be the right one and what you need, or we wouldn't be carrying it.
So the bejesus is a mild oath used as a noun for emphasis. So
we're emphasizing that we're selling the bejesus out of them.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know that we use it.
It had nothing to do with Jesus.
No, not according to Merriam-Webster.
Well, that's very interesting. Mm-hmm.
It probably did at one point, I'm sure. And it's been mutilated and changed over time. Here's another one from Collins Dictionary. Used variously to express surprise, pleasure, anger, annoyance, etc. Noun. A term of indefinite. There you go. Slang. A term of indefinite. So we've sold an indefinite amount of them. You're going to get viruses now.
What are you talking about? Not going to get viruses.
Oh yeah, you're playing with Chat GPT.
Oh, it's awesome. I have it on my phone.
Oh Lord,
I've got it here, dude. It's amazing.
Yeah, China knows all about what you're doing now.
Yeah, they already do. You have an iPhone or an Android, even worse.
I haven't played with this yet.
I have an account.
Oh,
why is it? Oh, let me see.
You're going to ask Chat GPT what the bejesus is?
OpenAI Chat GPT account login,
and it's just BE Jesus.
BE Jesus.
Yeah. Just so you know how to spell it when you go in there.
That should be my account. Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted. Login string. This is
of course you've been playing with this. High tech redneck.
Of course, dude.
I've heard
it's the future.
I've heard quite
it's crazy.
Yeah. I've heard quite a bit about it on the Daily Wire. Ben
have you?
Been talking about it quite a bit. But I haven't messed with it at all. Apparently you can damn near write, a term paper with it.
Here, this is interesting. So, let's see.
I wonder if people are using it
Where's
to
my history?
write their wedding vows and stuff. Did you already look up the Jesus on it?
No. Hang on. Stand by.
We can chat in it? The hell?
Well, she chat, or she or he. That's OpenAI, dude.
Ugh.
Let's see. So I asked it something. This is interesting. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's do this live. Let's
okay. It says he's a short little troll with sausage fingers.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy? So what I typed in, guys, is anything before, like 21, it warns you. This is still being developed, but it's developing so fast. It's AI. It's OpenAI. And it's developing so fast that it can be wrong. It's told some people to kill themselves and stuff.
Oh, Jesus.
But anything after 21, it doesn't do as well because it takes time to accumulate valid information. It's getting dialed in, but it's happening so fast that it can be scary too.
Yeah.
Because the problem is people don't cross-reference. So it's like Google, right? So basically what it is it's pulling that fast, like everything it knows about Ryan. I asked it, tell me about Ryan Urlacher of Law Abiding Biker Media. So it's that quick. It's pulling from pretty much pre-21 everything it knows about me online that fast.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like you could go in Google and spend 3 hours trying to find all this information. It just did it. And obviously they're worried about people doing college term papers and doing this. There's a lot of problems with it too. But anyways, I'm a tech geek and I could go down. But here, this is how cool it is. And this is the problem is, kids these days, they don't cross-reference. So here's the deal. Yeah. It's a funny story. So I asked my kids, I'll ask my daughter about something and we'll have a little debate over dinner. Well, she'll just Google, both my daughters. Well, Dad, I'm going to look it up. Okay. And so being the wise man I am, I look at them and so what do? First thing that pops up in Google, they open it and read it and it's to their benefit, right? And I'll go, what source is that? And how many sources did you source that from? And I go, have you ever even been on that website? It's some, you know how it is.
Yeah, do you know if
it's some ambiguous? Do you know their background? And so I try to teach my kids. It's frustrating because that shit, I would have been like that when I was a kid had I had this technology.
Oh, absolutely.
But it frustrates me. So I try to teach people stop. Don't tell me, no, I just looked it up. where did you look it up, and did you cross-reference, and did you look for any opposing opinions? So anyways, be careful with ChatGPT, but here's what it reads. This is how precise it is. It makes you sound smart. So police motorcycle training. Oh, wait. Here it is.
There you go.
Ryan Erlacher is the founder and CEO of Law Abiding Biker Media, a company dedicated to providing information and resources for motorcycle riders, specifically in the law-abiding law enforcement community. That's not true. So that's a little bit. Last time it wrote something else. That's why I thought I had a history of it, but we'll read it. So some things are wrong. It's not specifically in the law enforcement community. Ryan has over 20 years of experience as a police officer and motorcycle officer, and he has also, it's funny how it did it totally different than last time. And has also worked as a motor officer instructor. He has a passion for motorcycles and has dedicated his career to improving motor. Let me look at something else.
Yeah, I imagine it changes. Like you were saying, it's constantly changing.
I don't
imagine you get the same.
Maybe
answer
I
every
worded
time,
it different.
Oh, could have been.
You know what I mean?
You may have.
Let me.
Now I gotta. This is nuts.
Yeah, dude, it's great. Like you can do it stuff like tell my wife a great text to text my wife on Mother's Day, and it literally comes up with this shit. It makes you, oh fuck, dude, you want to get laid?
My wife would go.
That's the first
She'd look
thing.
at it and go, "Who the fuck wrote that?"
Oh no, yeah. Well, you can change it just a little bit, but it's still, dude.
But it's weird with.
I got on this just because I want to get laid. That's all. Like everything, I'm teasing.
But you can. If you texted Angela, I bet you she'd go, "Does Ryan have your phone or something like?" I mean, it's amazing how intuitive they are with that kind of stuff. If I tried having OpenAI write a text from my wife, she would catch it in 2 seconds. She'd say, "You don't talk like that."
Yeah. Anyways, this is intriguing for a motorcycle podcast, I know, but I like talking about tech stuff.
Yeah.
We can do whatever we want. It's
Absolutely.
my podcast.
Well, we might be, some of these bikers out here might be hearing about OpenAI for the first time. So this may be some news
very
for them.
true.
Absolutely. I'm just hearing about it through other podcasts, like I said.
Yeah. I thought I had a history, but anyways, let's see.
Wow. Yeah. It's jeez.
Yeah. So this is more, it depends how you word it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I said, what is Ryan Erlacher of Law Abiding Biker Median? I think she figured it out. Known for.
You're assuming her gender? It's gender?
I always think it's a lady. That's just me. Yeah. So I can't change that.
Oh, I think you can right there. There you go.
Let's see. Media. There we go. All right. Okay. So so see, it does it different, but anyways, Ryan Erlacher is known for his expertise and passion for motorcycles and motorcycle safety. He is particularly known for his work in the law enforcement community, where he has dedicated his career to improving motorcycle safety and training. As a founder and CEO of Law Abiding Biker Media, Ryan has created a platform for motorcycle riders to access information and resources on everything from motorcycle maintenance to riding techniques. He has also authored several books and hosts the Law Abiding Biker podcast, where he shares his knowledge and expertise on motorcycle-related topics.
You've authored several books?
And that's what you have to be careful about.
Okay.
I have not authored a book. Ryan is highly respected in the motorcycle community, particularly in the law enforcement community. But it's very keen on law enforcement, where he has worked as a police officer and motorcycle officer for over 20 years. He is known for commitment to improving motorcycle safety and training, his ability to teach and communicate complex motorcycle-related concepts in an accessible way.
That basically is put that on your LinkedIn profile.
That's what I'm saying,
it's
dude.
The cover page for any,
it's crazy
application. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Nuts.
And then you can regenerate a response. And sometimes she'll ask you, do you mean Ryan Erlacher of say there's a Ryan Erlacher of Home Depot, or Ryan Erlacher of Law Abiding? Are you talking about Ryan Erlacher of Law Abiding Biker Media? And you just go yes, and then she gives you your response. So he or she or AI, can dial in. Why is it 2 of 2? But the first one that I ever did on it was really good. And I don't know what I asked the questions, but I don't know. I'm not going to waste any more time on it. But there you go. So what were we going to originally ask ChatGPT? What is
bejesus?
B-E?
Jesus.
Jesus.
All one word.
All one word.
Yeah.
Bejesus. What does bejesus mean? So here's ChatGPT. Bejesus is a slang term that is often used as an exclamation to express surprise, shock, or disbelief. It is a mild form of the word Jesus. It does have to do with Jesus, and often used as a euphemism to avoid using a stronger or more offensive expression. For example, someone might say, quote, "You scared the bejesus out of me," exclamation point, unquote.
I've heard that, yeah.
To express, that's what I use it for, to express that they were very startled or frightened by something. I'm going to keep ChatGPT up. All right, there's your tech lesson for the day, but be careful with it. As you see, it is wrong. I didn't author books, and it's been wrong in some startling ways, like people trying to get psychiatric help from it and stuff. And then it's saying, well, you should probably
jump off a bridge.
Exactly.
Good
So
God.
they're still trying to dial in. When you sign up for it, there's all kinds of warnings about cross-referencing, and not everything's, they're doing disclaimers like crazy, but it's cool because it is the future, and it is going to get dialed in. And there's only one way to dial it in, and that's this. It's beta testing with the public, basically.
Yeah.
It's been around for a long time, actually. But and then there's Bing, which Bing is shit. Remember when
Bing was a search engine.
Stupid Microsoft. But now there's a Chat GPT Bing that's even being a lot more accurate than the regular just OpenAI site that I'm on, Chat GPT. It's getting rave reviews for Bing, which everybody thought Bing was dead, but that might be they're crawling back with ChatGPT. So anyways, there's a lot of uses for it. There's, of course, apps and stuff that you can pay for that will dial it in and make it easier to use. But anyways, I could go down a rabbit hole. Apparently, I already have. Let's move on. Let's get back to motorcycles because I want to ride longer. The only thing I have to worry about, not ChatGPT on my trip, not even going to be thinking about OpenAI or ChatGPT. I'm going to be thinking about my tired and sorry, achy ass that I would have if I had not remembered to put my butt buffer seat cushion on my bike. High quality. That's right. I will be rocking it. Head over to the Law Abiding Biker store. Check out our full line of butt buffer seat cushions. I'll also be rocking this. That is my awesome Rick Rack Quick Attach luggage system, the ultimate motorcycle luggage rack solution. Forget those messy straps and bungee cords. Go strapless with the Rick Rack Quick Attach luggage system and quality bag. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Get hooked up now. Butt buffer and Rick Rack, two things I would definitely have on every trip. I've also got many of the Zero 3D products on my bike that I'll be rocking on the trip because they got a wide variety of innovative products for your Harley-Davidson and a brand new line for the all-new Honda Goldwing named Gold Strike.
I like gold.
Top quality, affordable chrome lighting and comfort products. Zero Gold Strike are the motorcycle LED lighting innovators for CAN bus plug-and-play system compatibility. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Check out our full line of Zero 3D products. All right. So I don't have time because I barely have enough time to do these podcasts and videos. But as you can see, we can go down I can go down the tech.
Oh yeah,
tech rabbit hole, dude.
Absolutely.
Of another tech podcast, but that's not happening. Trust me.
Well,
it's not happening. We're batch processing today to try to get 3 done because we're leaving on a trip, and I've been too busy to even get these things out. So yeah, not going to happen. But yeah, here we go. It's the start of a podcast now. Welcome back, you freaking bikeaholics. This is a podcast for the motorcycle majority. The Big MM, also known as the
99%.
Large and in charge of the motorcycle scene more than any time in history. By being here, by listening, you're part of what we call the hashtag
Biker Revolution.
That's right. We have one question for you before we get started. What are you waiting for, bikeaholics?
Mount up and let us take you on another wild-ass ride.
Ryan Erlacher, your host of the Law Abiding Biker Podcast, and your
high-tech redneck.
Lurch in the house. All right, we're just going to dive in. Today's main topic that is not tech-related. It's not Chat GPT. It's AIM Force Slave Clutch Cylinder install and review. And we're going to talk about cable clutches versus hydraulic clutches and what this is for, and probably get off track on Chat GPT again.
Maybe.
And I still wish I could find that first one. And I meant to save it because I was actually going to save it in Evernote because it was like
the one you could actually use.
Linked in. It was spot on. I'll find it after the podcast, but it was freaking money. And I know in one of these apps I saved it somewhere, but oh, you know what? Let me do this. Hang on.
He's playing with his phone.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. This is exciting.
It makes for exciting. I thought that
You think you know where it's at?
Oh, I thought I pasted it on my, and clearly I did not. So done with that. All right. So we'll talk about that clutch cylinder. We do want to announce, Lurch does, we're always putting out videos on the YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed over there, please subscribe, hit that bell icon. Every time those are hit, another biker joins the revolution. We'd love to have you be part of it. It helps bump us up, social proof and all that kind of stuff. If you're watching our videos anyways, it costs you nothing to hit that subscribe button. And we actually have lists and lists of videos that we've already put out, but we just like to announce at least one on the podcast episodes.
So today's is how to install a rocker housing gasket on a Harley-Davidson. Do it yourself. You can find the link in the show notes, or you can go to lawabidingbiker.com/rocker-housing-gasket-Harley.
And this is the rocker housing gasket, not the rocker cover housing, because we have a video on that too.
One on each.
Two separate things, common place to leak, right?
Yeah.
My twin cam was doing it, and
and it can be difficult to tell which one is the one seeping, and so I would say if you're going to get in there, you might as well just do them both.
The video free on the YouTube channel,
inexpensive.
Yeah, the gaskets are nothing.
Yeah, and our video's free,
and the labor that you'll save is amazing. The amount of money you'll save doing this yourself. So if you got it leaking up there, getting dirty cylinders, dirty jugs, get in there. You don't want dirty jugs.
Getting dirty.
I'll lick them clean. All right, enough of that. Moving on. We want to thank these people. They are a reason, just like our sponsors, that we're still coming to you after 10 years strong with this very podcast and all that we do for the biker community, including our videos.
We would like to thank Willie Wagner of Carthage, Missouri.
Some of our newest patrons.
Absolutely. Craig Blatter of Port Jefferson Station, New York, also top tier. And Larry Miller of Huntington Beach, California.
And apparently Lurch drug this in here, and we got no more patrons to thank.
Oh, we'll just
Standing by.
I'll scroll right down and find some. That's funny. I made all those together, and apparently missed that one. Cam Forbes of Harrison, Ontario, Canada, top tier. Mike Bransky of Austin, Texas, and Dale Tout of Elko, Nevada.
lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, Patreon. That's right. Get signed up. Pledge a certain amount per piece of content that we put out. No risk, because you can put a monthly cap and stay within your family budget. We definitely understand that during these difficult times, difficult economy. There are benefits for signing up, however, such as t-shirts and stickers. You get access to the private Facebook group, which is a troll-free zone. It is nothing but bikers helping and connecting with other bikers. The largest online biker community around, the most trusted for sure. You get access to podcasts early like this one. You're going to get it months, literally months before the regular listening audience get it. As we do live video broadcasts and chat, you get access to that. You get access to our premium videos upon request and access to those ride meetup at events, which we're about to head out to. By the time you get this podcast, it'll be over, but we're heading out. And our patron member meetup will have already taken place in Reno, Nevada this year, where we get to meet up with all of our beloved patron members. We definitely thank you so much for everybody that continues to sign up, and those long time and those remaining folks that continue to support us through being a patron member. All right, Lurch, let's dive into this. What you doing?
I'm typing.
All right. Do you want to preface this?
I'm producing the podcast.
Okay, you're producing while he's...
yeah, absolutely.
I'll let you kind of lead this one because you did the notes, and I'll dive in where my expertise comes in. But
yeah, absolutely. Because you're the one that did the testing on it afterwards. So we'll get into the cable clutch and hydraulic clutch debate a little bit at some point. But
watch out, I'm the master debater.
Yeah, you are a master debater. But for some people, they find that the hydraulic clutch is harder to pull. It's harder to hold at a stoplight for long periods of time.
I disagree.
I said for some people. I didn't say everybody. Okay. Yeah, some people.
But that's tangible.
Yeah,
or that's okay. And no, and I get it.
Don't invalidate these feelings. I've had discussions with people, and these are valid feelings.
And
experiences.
I'm invalidating their feelings.
We'll get.
I'm talking. Here's what I'll say.
Oh, I haven't even got through a full sentence, and we're sidetracking.
I know we're sidetracking.
Okay, go ahead. I'm going to go back to posting.
I'm asking ChatGPT which is better, a hydraulic.
You should. You should.
Which is
on a Harley, on a motorcycle though.
Better on a Harley, a cable clutch or a hydraulic. We're just going to stay off track. Yeah. That's what we do on this. So which is better on a Harley, a cable clutch or a hydraulic clutch? Let's see what she says. So both cable and hydraulic clutches can be effective on a Harley-Davidson motorcycles, and the choice between the two often comes down to personal preference and riding style. Cable clutches are typically easier to adjust and maintain, and they are generally less expensive to repair or replace. They also tend to offer more feedback to the rider, which can be beneficial for those who prefer a more tactile connection with the motorcycle, or they don't know how to ride very well. Okay, I added the or don't know how to ride very well.
There's a definite difference. I remember when I had my 08 and you just bought your 14 and I jumped on it and the bike about went out from underneath me because I wasn't expecting it to engage so quick.
Right.
It does take some training to find the gray area.
Forward.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
She goes on, he goes on. It, he, she, they, whatever you want. On the other hand, hydraulic clutches offer a smoother and more consistent feel. That is true.
Yep.
Which can be advantageous for riders who want a more refined, and precise riding experience. That's well said. They also tend to require less effort to operate. See, that's where I was getting at. Actually, objectively, it can't be argued that the cable, you put the bike side by side, a hydraulic is much easier to pull. They, which can be they tend to require less effort to operate, which can be beneficial for riders who experience fatigue or discomfort with a cable clutch. Ultimately, the choice between a cable and hydraulic clutch on a Harley-Davidson motorcycle comes down to personal preference, and riders should choose the type of clutch that best suits their riding style and needs. All right, guys, thanks for listening. We are out of here. Thank you, OpenAI, ChatGPT. It's been great and fun hanging out with you. We'll catch you on. All right.
That's funny. I had the same thought.
Did you?
Yeah. I'm like, well, I guess this is done.
That's pretty well stated.
It is.
I thought it would F it all up, but.
Well, it's pretty close. Yeah, I don't know about it being easier to maintain a cable versus a hydraulic.
That's incorrect.
Yeah. That's
opposite.
Yeah.
A hydraulic is much easier to maintain.
You don't have
because there is no maintenance.
There is no maintenance.
Yeah, ride it till it burns and you put a new one. No adjustments. It's beautiful. Yeah. So be careful again with OpenAI, but some of it's correct in there. And when it is correct, it's eloquently stated.
Right.
Like it's written better than I can. Absolutely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it pretty much makes everybody a journalist now.
Absolutely.
You can write blog articles a lot better.
Yeah.
Because you can get ideas.
Well, I'm not writing it ever again.
Yeah. Whether it's wrong or not. All the shit on
From
our
now
site.
On, our show notes are all going to be ChatGPT. Shit.
Nice.
All right. We already use Grammarly, which helps, our punctuation and grammar and all that kind of stuff when we're writing. But now you don't even have to write. You can just ask ChatGPT.
Okay, so I asked, is tits up an appropriate term? OpenAI says no, tits up is generally considered to be an inappropriate, offensive term. That's exactly why we use it on this podcast. It is a slang phrase that refers to something that has failed or gone wrong. Yeah. While the phrase may be used in some contexts as a way of expressing frustration or disappointment, it can be considered disrespectful and demeaning towards women. Therefore, it is best to avoid using the term in professional or formal settings. We're neither professional or formal here, so we're good. And to be mindful of the audience when using it in the casual or social context. There you go.
Yeah, and truthfully, I don't think it originated as being related to women. I think it was more like animals. When something broke or died, it's on its back, it's dead.
Right.
It's tits up. I don't think it was originally supposed to mean women.
There's your Lurch's ChatGPT, and that's his what he's saying. Thank you,
anyways, back to the podcast. There are people that they're not as comfortable with a hydraulic clutch. They can't find the gray area as well.
Friction zone for a lot of people out there.
It's farther out, which is it's farther away from the hand grip, which leads to some fatigue and whatnot. So, and also people with smaller hands. It's harder for them to extend their fingers out far enough to be in that friction area when it's far away from the grip. So, anyways, our buddy Squid, Daryl Barnes here at Law Abiding Biker, he'd heard about these AIM Lightforce Slave Cylinders and wanted to give it a try. And I really want to appreciate Daryl, because a lot of the guys will just buy something, slap it on their bike, and then they tell us later, and you're like, shit.
Would have liked to test that and film that.
Yeah, that would have been great content.
And we'll help you with it.
Yeah.
And we'll drink beer with you.
Absolutely.
Free beer. I always take people to lunch. You get free beer. You get to hang out in the studio. But, all right. Anyways,
so in this instance, Daryl bought it and he got a hold of us, and absolutely we took him up on doing it. And the great thing is usually when the guys come to the studio here and we're working on their bikes, most of the time I'm doing the wrenching and you're doing the filming. In this instance, Daryl did the wrenching, so it was nice. I got to just kind of be like, tech support and stand behind and watch the work get done. Oh God.
just I'll use it later. Don't. Just let me do my chat GPT. You stay on track.
All right. So anyways, Daryl bought it and he brought it down here, filmed it, put it together, and we'll go through the installation because it's not terribly difficult, and then we'll talk about our review of it in the end. But so the big question is, why would you want an AIM Lightforce slave cylinder? And one of the things it does is it definitely reduces lever pull. I mean, when we put his bike back together and I grabbed that clutch for the first time, I thought we had error in the system or something was wrong. We got a bad unit because it was such a light pull. It was mind-boggling. I thought it was bled right. It's what I thought. So it really reduces the lever pull. And then it also improves the gray area or the friction zone. It makes it wider and it makes it much closer to the hand grip. And like I said earlier, it's great for people with smaller hands. It is available for 2014 through 2020. So the bikes with the hydraulic clutches, there's something to consider if you're going to get one. On the 2017 and newer bikes, all you got to do is replace the slave cylinder. But on the 14 through 16, you've got to replace the master cylinder as well, which is we show you in the video how to do it.
Why is that?
It's just I think it's the cable and the amount of fluid that goes through it. It's
the
just
cable.
There's some.
You mean the line?
Yeah, the line,
the hydraulic line.
Yeah, I don't know specifically. I didn't research.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It is the 17 and up with the Milwaukee has a different master cylinder. So
they did revamp some stuff after some hydraulic issues.
So if you do put it on a 14 through 16, you just have to replace your master cylinder as well as the slave cylinder. So the installation actually is pretty damn easy, but there's some stuff you have to get out of the way. We were hoping that we could just pop off the transmission cover and expose the slave cylinder. And maybe depending on your bike and what exhaust you have, you might be able to get away with that.
Pop it off without removing the exhaust, you mean?
Exhaust, sorry.
Because you do have to, you said we thought we'd get away with just popping the cover off, or you're going to have to pop the cover off.
That's what I meant, yeah. So we thought we might be able to get away with just popping the cover off of that goes over the slave cylinder on the transmission. Without removing anything. And depending on your bike and what you have, more than likely you're going to have to remove your exhaust. So for us, we tried to do it and it didn't come off. So then we had to remove the exhaust. And to do that, we took the muffler off on the right side. Had to remove the heat shields. Then we had to remove the exhaust clamp near the floorboard. So there's a clamp on the right side of your bike behind your floorboard that holds the exhaust up. And then we loosened up the exhaust flange nuts. And then so we didn't have to completely remove the exhaust, but once we got all that done, then we were able to rock it away from the bike just enough that we could get the Allen wrench in there and get that cover off. Once you get that off, then you got to disconnect the fluid line from the slave cylinder. It's important that you do that ahead of time because that thing does have some torque on it. And when the slave cylinder is bolted to the bike, it's much easier to break that line. So loosen that thing up just a little bit. If you try to do it, if you try to take it off after you've removed the slave cylinder, it can be kind of a tricky little thing to get done. So once you get that off the fluid line off of the slave cylinder, then it's time to remove the slave cylinder. And it's really easy. It's 3 or 4 bolts that bolted to the side of the transmission. It just pops right off. And then all you got to do is then you want to put the line back into the clutch. The slave cylinder, it can be kind of tricky to do it once it's bolted on. So get that thing started with your fingers, and then you can install the slave cylinder back in. And it's got a little nub or an inlet on that slave cylinder that you kind of have to pop onto the bike. So you got to line it up in place and then pop it in. Once you got that in, then you can put in the bolts, and those get torqued down to 8 to 10 foot-pounds. Tighten your clutch line, the fluid line back up, and now you got to bleed the system. And a lot of, there's a lot of ways to bleed it. We like to use our Mighty Vac, and there'll be links to the Mighty Vac in our show notes.
Strongly suggest it. Yeah.
We've got a couple of them. We've used the ones that are like a hand pump in the past that you just pump, but the Mighty Vac hooks to your air compressor and pulls pressure, and it is so easy to get it bled. So you have one guy hook that up to the bleed line down at the bottom at the slave cylinder, and then you have one guy keep the clutch master cylinder full. If you don't keep it full, then you'll introduce air into the line. You got to start it all over again. So it's kind of a teamwork thing, and we've got videos on how to bleed your.
Well, in that video, did we actually show how to do that? Or do we say refer to our other video?
We show how to do it.
Yeah, so it's very easy.
It is nothing but bike.
You got right in the middle of a commercial.
I know.
Yeah, I remember because I watched it before.
Oh, yeah, we're bleeding it right there.
And Big Daddy's helping out.
And he's going to start taking this off. You'll bleed it.
Yep.
You'll bleed the arches down here.
Yeah, we show the whole thing. So I'm playing the video there if you guys wonder what that is. Yeah, so the video will show you from start. You don't even need to refer to another video.
Yeah.
So
good call. And then you reinstall the slave cylinder cover. It's just a decorative cover that goes over the top of the slave cylinder. And then you have to put the exhaust back on. So it's really a fairly easy job to do. If you're mechanically inclined, it's even easier if you get our free video and do it. So there's no reason that you out there, if you want a lighter pull and more a wider friction zone and maybe a friction zone closer to the grip, there's no reason you can't do it yourself. And we carry these things in the law-abiding biker store. We weren't affiliated with them at first. Daryl just bought them. I'd heard of some other companies. I hadn't heard of AIM yet. And after we did the installation and the test ride and review on it, we were sold. So we were originally looking at maybe just doing some kind of affiliate or whatnot, but we contacted AIM directly, and now we're a dealer for them. We sell the slave cylinders for the 2014 to 2016, and then the 17 to 20.
I just put the link on our website, everything we just talked about, including links directly to our store. It's an article, the video's there, some instructions, the video's at the bottom, everything you need in one place. I'm not going to give the URL because Matt will, Lurch here will put it in the show notes. It's lawabidingbiker.com/ whatever episode number this is. That's how you always get the show notes, things we talk about, links, and I just put it in workflowy for you there.
I saw that. Thank you.
So,
Appreciate
so you'll get that in there. And that's just one, so you don't have to go back and forth. You can get the video, the links to the store for the product, the fitment, and all that kind of stuff all in one place.
So I mentioned a little bit ago that the pull was so reduced. I can't. They say on their website something like 30% or something reduction. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I will tell you that it's a significant reduction in effort needed to pull the clutch lever back to the point where, like I said earlier, I didn't think it was working correctly.
Right.
It's crazy.
Until we got out and rode it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So as far as review,
what's the cost on it?
I'll look it up as
I can go. I think I have it right here in the store.
It's pretty reasonable for the 17 through 20s because all you're replacing is the master cylinder.
So it's let's see the
$300.
So 2017 plus M8 Touring is $295, and then 2014 to 16 hydraulic clutch $480.
Yeah, because now you're adding that new hydraulic master cylinder.
The new master cylinder. So.
And you can see they've got an adapter for the line. See that little brass adapter, which makes me think that they changed the cylinder itself, but they also changed something with the line probably.
They did, whatever kind of flow they need. Yeah. But over on our store, the fitment's there, 24 5-star reviews. Nice. And it is. Nice. And when we got this, like Lurch says, we weren't affiliated with them at all.
Never heard of them.
I had heard of them because I had done clutch research before. So I was very familiar with them. I've heard of some
other companies. I just hadn't heard of them.
Yeah. So I was very familiar with them as far as them being a player in the game. And they make a lot of other stuff too. Yep. But once I got this and got it in our hands and spent the time installing it and the quality of it, I was intrigued. While we were installing it, it was clearly a quality product. This wasn't something cheaply made. And then, of course, we'll talk about riding it and kind of that experience. Obviously, being a police motor instructor and all that, I really wanted to test this clutch and do bar locks and put it to the test to really see what this was all about and whether it was worth it. Now, I got some interesting here for you, but we'll do this first. Lurch, why don't you go for it?
Hey, bikeaholics, searching for new and exciting motorcycle products? Zero 3D has the products you dream about for your bike. Check out their wide variety of innovative products for Harley-Davidson and Honda Goldwing motorcycles. Zero 3D's got your back with chrome, black parts, lighting, and other comfort products. No modifying, cutting, grinding, or welding for an easy installation. That equals less time installing and more time riding. Zero 3D has a design team of riders with over 40 years of experience with a passion for design and innovation. Zero and Gold Strike are the motorcycle LED innovative lighting innovators for CAN bus plug-and-play system compatibility. They pride themselves on great customer service. Got a question? Get in touch with them via email at sales@zero3d.com or give them a call at 717-808-0027.
715, that is.
715-808-0027. Check out your local Harley or Honda dealership and ask for Zero or Gold Strike parts. A new leader has emerged, so check out Zero 3D's custom line of Gold Strike products for the all-new Honda Goldwing.
We like the gold.
Better yet, help support us and head on over to LAB-337-AIM.com/store and check out our full line of Zero 3D products.
So here, I found it. This is the first chat AI that, so this takes literally a dumbass like me, a complete dumbass.
It makes you sound great.
Yeah, it does. Makes me sound kind of cool. So here we go. This was the one, I don't remember the question I asked, but I did text it to my wife because and my daughter. So here's what, whatever exact question I asked, here's what AI Chat GPT said. Ryan Urlacher is a prominent figure in the motorcycle community, known for his work with Law-Abiding Biker Media. He is known for co-founding the Law-Abiding Biker YouTube channel. I actually founded it. I didn't co-found it.
Who helped you?
But you see, I can sleep this. Yeah. I can totally clean this up a little bit. So he's known for, we'll fix it. He's known for founding the Law-Abiding Biker YouTube channel, which creates and shares content related to motorcycles, motorcycle laws, safety tips, and other issues relevant to the motorcycle community. Ryan is the CEO of Law-Abiding Biker Media and is also a podcast host and producer, author, filmmaker, and motorcycle enthusiast. His work with Law-Abiding Biker Media has made him a recognizable figure in the motorcycle world, and he has been featured in several publications and radio programs.
Nice. That's a good one.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's your LinkedIn
that's
profile.
No shit, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, it's better than I can write it, dude. But yeah, anyways, back on track. I was glad I found that. I got to save that now, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I think I searched after that, if I remember right, I searched what publications is Ryan, and it gave the let's just do it live.
Yeah.
Let's see what publications has right. It said, it did say I was on the Adam Carolla show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it did. And I tried to search Adam Carolla. I said, what the hell would he talk about me for? I have to assume it's my cousin, Brian.
Oh, Brian, maybe.
Urlacher, Bears NFL player. That's I didn't have any more time. So what publications has Ryan Urlacher been featured in? But yeah, I was like, I don't know that he would ever mention me. So this is a lot more of them. Holy cow. So Ryan Urlacher, the founder, CEO of has been featured in several. See examples: American Police Beat, Blue Line Magazine, Rider Magazine, Cycle Source Magazine, The Spokesman Review, and the Moskin Pullman Daily Newspaper, the Coeur d'Alene Press. In addition to print publications, Ryan has also been featured in various other media outlets and podcasts. And see, last time we'll regenerate it. You can hit a regenerate button.
Some of those.
There was that tattooed. Remember that Inked magazine I was in and stuff like that.
That one's better.
Yeah,
but you're going to be in some just from law enforcement too. I mean,
true.
Like I've been in the Seattle Times and the Yakima Herald, that kind of stuff. But that has much more motorcycle related stuff there.
Here, this is what I did. So what publications has Ryan Urlacher from Law-Abiding Biker Media been featured in? Motorcycle.com. Yeah, some of those past. American Iron Magazine, Hot Bike Magazine, Easy Rider Magazine, Police Magazine, Road Bike Magazine, Motorcycle Power Sports News, Ultimate Motorcycle Magazine, Iron Trader News, Bagger Nation Magazine. Additionally, I've been featured on podcasts, radio shows, television programs, including Fox News and NBC.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. He is also the host of the Law-Abiding Biker podcast, which has a large following in the motorcycle community. Anyways, fun stuff. But see, I don't know about like Fox News and NBC, and I have to think that maybe they're confusing Brian Urlacher with Chat AI. But anyways, all right, I digress. It's fun. All right, we got to stop. We got to get back on track. Okay, where are we at in this?
Shit, I don't even know now.
Well, you did all the mechanical shit.
Talking about the review. So your review of it.
All right.
Yeah, I had mentioned that it was such a crazy light pull of the lever. I didn't think it was working correctly.
Essentially, that's what this is doing. The Lightforce here is, Squid wanted an easier pull. And, for a lot of people out there, the stock clutch may be just fine. I like this a lot. And I will say this. Excuse me. I burped in the microphone.
Yeah, nice.
Tits up. All right. So, we burp in the microphone, talk about farts and dude wipes, and then tits up. Yeah, we're so politically correct. So here's what I'll say. I actually, when I at some point retire from law enforcement, I'll probably put one of these on my bike. I like it a lot. Here's why I don't right now for me. The reason is I ride my police Electroglide every day. It's hydraulic clutch, and my Street Glide Special is hydraulic clutch, and hydraulics are that's the beautiful part about hydraulics is they all are very consistent with where the friction zone is and how they pull. So I don't want to. Could I do it? Yes. I just don't want to. It's easier for me to just jump on and off my police bike and then jump on my personal bike, and everything's just exactly the same. But definitely, if I could find a way to let them allow me to put one of these on my police bike, I think that would be really cool. So I do like the product a lot. And for me, that's the only reason. But if you guys, I would strongly encourage getting one of these and putting it on your bike. If you can swing it, you will be so happy. So I didn't know what to expect. I had never done any of these. I will tell you this before I get started with that. There are other options. So the main thing with this is the fact that it makes for an easier pull. So interestingly enough, at the motor school, which I recently instructed, Lurch, the BMWs have a hydraulic clutch. The BMW 1250s? Yeah. They've got a hydraulic clutch, and our Harleys, anything newer, 14 and newer has hydraulic. Well, until you get 21, Harley went back to cable. But aside from that, they're both hydraulic. But the Harley one definitely has a bigger pull because the guys on those BMWs can actually work the clutch more like I work my KLR with just two fingers. Mm-hmm. That's very difficult to do with the Harley hydraulic. So if you're looking for an easier pull with this AIM, you can work it with two fingers. It would be much more like maybe a dirt bike or something easier like my KLR, even though it's cable, it's just, I can work it with two fingers. That's what she said. All right. So if you're looking for that easier pull, but if you're looking just for you like the pull of the Harley, but you're just looking you don't like the lever and exactly how far out you need to let it to get into the friction zone, there's alternatives for that.
Right.
We are not a dealer for those. I tried in the past, and they're an interesting company. There's several of the companies out there.
They're an overseas company, from what I understand. The company you're talking about.
They may be. Yeah, I think they are. Yeah. I've talked to them, because I actually called and ordered levers for our police bikes when we first got the hydraulics. Anyways, I digress. There's multiple companies that do it.
Yep.
But what they are is they make it so that you can adjust just the lever. It is not adjusting your hydraulic system at all. And you can't even be an affiliate because the companies that sell them just sell them.
Yep.
So you can research, find them. If you're really interested in which one I run, I'm not affiliated. I don't get anything for it, but email us. We'll tell you. But I'd like to sell them. But anyways, they basically have settings, like a lot of bikes come with it. Like I believe those BMWs actually, they do, the 1250 come with where you can adjust. There's numbers on it. You can turn a dial, and you can actually, a lot of metric bikes come with that.
Yep.
It's kind of known as sports bikes and stuff. Why Harley hasn't done that, I don't know, but they haven't done a lot of things. Well, neither is a lot of companies, but when they did it, it is what it is. But these levers, these levers are a little bit shorter, and they're curved better for your hand. So we put them on our police bikes. I've really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much I put one on my personal Harley too, so that those bikes are exactly the same. But So you're not adjusting the clutch at all, or where the friction zone actually does. Like a cable clutch, when you're adjusting it, and internally you can actually you changing where the friction zone is a little bit, so to speak, or how much, I guess. But with this, it's just the handle. So it can either come in or out. So if you want the friction zone to occur quicker off the grip, you can do that. One of the problems with those levers, and I run into this problem on my police bike, is those hydraulic clutch have a switch in them that when you pull it in, it allows the bike to start. And if the clutch isn't pulled in, then the bike won't start. Well, the problem now is I've got it set at number 2. And when I pull it all the way to the grip, my police bike and my Harley personal bikes won't start because you've adjusted the lever and the bike thinks that you haven't pulled it in far enough because it hasn't activated the switch. It thinks you're engaged.
Yeah.
I can pull it really hard at level 2. If I squeeze it and try to mash it through the grip, I can usually get them to recognize it and start. But that's something you don't have to deal with the AIM,
right?
Because you're not changing just the lever, you're changing the system, and it's made so that the handle activates the switch. So hopefully that's useful information for the community on which one you're going to go. Is it a big deal? No. Usually I just pop my bike in neutral. My neutral switch has been broken. I've had it replaced twice. That was a recall on the 14 Street Glide Special. The switch keeps breaking, the neutrals or the clutch switch, so that I don't have it in neutral when I start. That comes stock, but I'm tired of getting it fixed, so I just start neutral.
That it's an issue on the 14. My 15, I've never had the issue.
No. And I should go, but I'm so used to putting both my bikes in neutral now. Yeah. I have to put my police on, just like whatever. But I mean, we could replace the switch ourselves, but if it just keeps breaking, they had problems with it. It was a recall thing. Anyways, so those are kind of your two options, and that's really the only legitimate argument that I would have with hydraulic versus cable is people will say, oh, I don't like where I don't like where the friction zone is.
Well, starts.
Easily fixable. Yeah. On the other hand, cable clutches have a plethora of problems themselves. Number one is they're constantly changing your friction zone, because as you wear the plates, your friction zone and how far your lever is off your grip changes. And that becomes cumbersome because you need to adjust it. And then it's one of the things in why I don't like cable clutches for motors officers or students, is because now you get a rider who only wants to ride a bike with a friction zone exactly where he likes it. I adjust it so it's just right off the handle, and I adjust it so it's 3/4 of the way out. And then their bike breaks and you have to throw them on another bike. And now they want to frickin' try to, instead of just learning how to ride properly, that they just want, I need to adjust it. I have mine so it's right off the grip, and that's the way I've been riding. And that's because you haven't trained yourself. You should be an experienced enough rider. Friction zone is friction zone is friction zone. Once you learn it, you should be able to jump on any bike. Yes, is it going to take you a half hour and maybe an hour at the most? I can usually do it within 10 minutes. I'll do some bar lock figure eights. I'll learn where the friction zone is. I'll feel it. I'll feel the dip of the bike, and then I can ride the course. We shouldn't be so nitpicky, and that's what frustrates me. And so I just tell guys, you just stop worrying about the clutch and just find the friction zone on this bike. Once you find it, it's like any other bike, and then you just use the bike and the friction zone the same way. I can say with hand fatigue, I get it if you've got small hands, but that's why those adjustable levers are great. That's really can save on because if it's too far out, it's in that weird area where if it was in a little bit, it would be less fatigue. So, but easy, those levers, I forget, they're not that expensive. You can fix that problem easy. But all in all, a hydraulic clutch is way less. On a Harley, they're easier to pull and they're easier to hold than a cable clutch. I've ridden both police, civilian, years and years of it. No doubt hydraulics are way easier.
Which is interesting, and I'll take that as truth, but a lot of people think the opposite.
I know. Inexperience.
Yeah.
Right. That's talking without having all the information or the experience.
Just probably not the amount of experience.
They probably haven't. Yeah. If you've ridden on courses and hours and hours and trained, you would quickly change your mind. The other problem with cable is not only do you have to adjust the cable as the plates where you've got to, which we did in motor school like 20 times. We had some old 13 bikes recently, and I'm just like, this is so waste of time. Constantly dropping them on their side, opening the derby cover, doing we have a video on it on the YouTube channel and the website. Search cable clutch adjustment. You've got to adjust them internally. And that's what I like about all hydraulics for police and for civilian is I can jump on your bike and you can jump on my bike and they're exactly the same. You can jump on a new bike at the dealerships. It's exactly the same. So you only have to learn one.
Right.
Why would you want to, have to adjust your plates and adjust this when there are solutions such as AIM Force and these handles that we talked about to quickly get over your two little arguments with hydraulic. The other nice thing about hydraulic, no adjustments. The clutch is the clutch and it's good to the life of the clutch. It self-adjusts. And it's beautiful. And the clutch handle never changes as the plates adjust. It just stays where it is. The one thing about, this is something we learned in motor school, one of my new students recently, is his bike broke. It was a cable clutch. And this is what I found with our new motor officers. This is why I get so passionate about this. I'm just like, and also about police being babies and, not like and change humans in general. But we were, I don't know if it was this episode or the previous episode where we were teasing about police don't like change. I remember when they were all riding cable clutches and then our new bikes came out with hydraulic. Oh my God. The bitching and moaning and how scared they were to go out and how they wanted cable and they only know how to ride cable. And I was just like, you guys, I already had a hydraulic on my personal bike. I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I took them out to the course and we got these handles. I said, there's handles. So we'll just change, if you like it off the grip a little bit, we'll just buy these handles. And they agreed. And so we put these hand levers on and literally, within 2 training sessions, they fell in love with hydraulic. Now they wanted cable. And now our new police bikes, because we're getting a couple new in the fleet, I'm getting a new 2023, which if we have time, we'll talk about. It's coming obviously with the cable because Hardy went back to cable in 21. Oh my God. Oh, I can't. Now remember, they said they couldn't go to hydraulic. I can't go back to cable. Why are they doing cable? We like hydraulic and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. And so it wasn't that bad. I'm exaggerating, but they made comments. And so luckily our sergeant is on board and this is how much they like hydraulic now that we are, as soon as we take delivery of our new police, these 2 new police Harleys that we're adding to the fleet, at the dealership, we've already ordered the kits and they're being retrofitted and they will have hydraulic systems on them.
And Harley, I didn't ask you in the last podcast. I imagine you have to use Harley parts because of warranty or? Well,
we looked at AIM Force, but that's what I told our sergeant.
Yeah.
I said, I would ask them because I don't think we have a police contract with the Hardys and I think they would void the warranty if they didn't do OEM parts.
Yeah. Because you can get a kit from you can get a kit from AIM to swap over to hydraulic.
Yep. And it's much cheaper.
Yeah.
And with Hardy, they don't actually make a kit. You kind of have to piece it out because you did this research, remember?
Yep.
You're like, well, you got to buy all the parts separate. But if you just ask your dealership, they'll part it all out. Say, I want everything I need to convert. Either you're going to do it yourself or if you have them and they'll be able to get it. But AIM Force, if you're not worried about it, like me, I could give 2 craps about warranty. I don't even buy them. I would just do an AIM Force because it's cheaper and we know the quality of those products. So with that said, I'm just telling you, and everybody, I'm not saying you don't have an opinion, so I don't want people to think, I'm just telling you, I don't know your experience level, and I can just tell you from a ton of hours, not only riding thousands of miles cross country, but on training police bikes with cable, with hydraulic and everything else. I would suggest to you that hydraulic is definitely a more robust, better system, less maintenance. It's better for rider. It's better in every way. Anybody that tells you they can't ride a hydraulic as good as a cable hasn't trained a ton, because I guarantee I can ride right with them with a cable on a course. But the one thing I will say, there's a slight learning curve on a hydraulic, and that is that the friction zone is a little bit narrower. There's a wider friction zone once a cable clutch plates system is wore in. Funniest thing, my student recently was riding the cable bike and the clutch got burnt. It was old. That was actually the old one. It was done. And we got a new clutch, and he was like, something wrong with my bike. I can't, something wrong with my bike. Just, can you get on it? Whenever a student says, give me your bike. Yeah, I'll tell you whether there's something wrong with it or this is rider error. And he's very humble, so it wasn't a big deal. But I got on it, and I was saying, and it was touchy, more touchy than a hydraulic. And I said, oh, reminds me.
It's a brand new clutch.
It's a brand new clutch. And it was more jumpy than a hydraulic, even a brand new hydraulic. So it reminded me, I go, oh, that's because your other bike, once you burn them in, you have a wider friction zone in it. So I told him I rode his bike, and I said, oh, it's touchy, but it's rider.
Yeah.
Because I went right in the patterns, rode it around, and I only had 3 minutes warming up on that bike, and I ride a hydraulic. So that's back to my point of, I just needed to get on it, feel where the friction zones were. I realized it was narrow, and I needed to ride it as such with a narrow friction zone. But, so that's another thing. Just because your nice cable clutch is all broken, when you get a new plates, you're worse off than a hydraulic. So anyways, do what you want, have what you want. End of the day, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Hydraulic all the way, less maintenance, easier. All bikes are the same, less hand fatigue. It's what most of our police officers want now. Everybody on my unit wants hydraulics, and that's why we're retrofitting my new 2023 is coming, Lurch.
Yeah, and when you finally one of us gets a newer personal bike, and I imagine that we'll put a AIM version on. We don't have them in the store right now, just because we haven't installed them and worked with one of those yet. But once we do, we'll add that to the store as well.
Maybe before.
Maybe
after this episode. Yeah. Why not? We trust their products.
True.
We'll definitely install one at some point, but
I'll put it on the list of things to add.
Quit worrying about your clutch. This is what you need to worry about, and that's your ass, because you need to treat it with some respect already. Get hooked up with a premium butt buffer seat cushion. This company of bikers developed a super thin hospital-grade seat cushion made of solid and elastic materials, and it's unlike gel pads that will leak if punctured. The butt buffer is designed not to slide around on your seat, fits all motorcycles, installs in seconds, easily cleans, and helps to dampen vibrations. With plenty of models to choose from, they assure you'll have a comfortable ass when riding. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store and get hooked up with our full lineup of butt buffer seat cushions. So my new 2023, I've got a 2018 Electra Police right now, going from the 107, and my new 2023, of course, will be rocking the 114. So I'm excited about that, and a larger trunk. We discussed that in the last episode, which you'll be getting at some point when it comes out. All right. So with all that said, with the hydraulic, and I know I've discussed it before, but I wanted to revamp it because I did just do a 2-week motor school, and we had nothing but problems with the old cable clutch bikes, and it was just frustrating. It's time down in the course adjusting them. One student jumps on another student's bikes, and you get complaints about where it's just with hydraulics, like those 10 bikes lined up right there, it don't matter which one you fucking get on, and I'll blindfold you and you won't know which one you're on because they're that consistent. So that's less student complaint is welcome in my ears. So anyways, so let's talk about squids, unless you want to jump in at any point here. I know I've been talking a lot. Yep.
Yeah, just kind of get us back onto the
please.
Review a little bit.
Do we need to get Chat GPT for this?
Yeah, you've already stated that the lever pull was a lot less. But could you, as you continue your review, talk about the gray area? Where did it engage? Was it wider and that kind of stuff? Yeah.
So I got on Squid's bike, took it out in a parking lot. It's in the video. I actually talked.
I wonder if he was nervous at all watching you do. I mean, obviously he knows you can ride, but it's a fairly new bike, and it's a nice bike.
Ultra limited.
Yeah. It's
dude.
Beautiful. I wonder if he had any.
I'm sure he did, especially when I scraped the floorboards a few times doing bar lock turns, dude.
I'd be a little nervous.
Yeah. I don't know if he was.
It's a new clutch, we just installed.
It
what if something, or not a clutch, new slave cylinder. What if something went wrong? I mean,
right.
I could see having some apprehension about watching you doing patterns on his bike.
He may have. He kept it in.
He did.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he did. If he did, he didn't share it.
I did take, 3 minutes to learn the friction zone and where it's at and all that kind of stuff. Just like any bike getting on, it's going to be different. And I needed to know where everything was before I really started doing bar locks, and I was doing some figure eights. You'll see it on the video, but I'm talking while I'm writing it and giving you my thoughts, but I'll give them here. So I can't understand it to this day, how unbelievable that slave cylinder can change the configuration of a clutch system like that. It is unbelievably easy to pull. It feels like something's wrong, like there's no clutch. I don't mean that absolutely. In a bad way.
Yeah.
Like, cause you're so used to the Harley pull. I was like, holy cow. It does change it to more of that metric bike feeling. You could literally 2-finger it depending on where, probably not because it's so close off the grip. If you 2-fingered it, you would be mashing your fingers behind it. I didn't do that, but that's how I just want to do that for reference, like how easy it is to pull. It does not adjust. So it's not an adjustable handle. I don't know. It brings up an interesting point. I don't know about putting this and then putting an adjustable lever on it on top of it to boot. But
yeah,
we haven't tried it.
No.
If you try it, email us. Let us know what happened. Anyways, like I say, it doesn't really change it. It just changes the whole configuration of the hydraulic system, and you will not get hand fatigue with this at all. You could be very weak or have hand problems and grab this thing. And I will say the friction zone changes on a stock Harley. It's very much out as you almost let the lever out near the end, the 3/4 range. You're getting into your friction zone. This changes it stock, the way you put it on, right off the grip. So it's very easy to just let out a little bit. And I found that there's a wider friction zone. So that means there's more gray area in there. It's not quite so narrow. It's not huge, but enough that I noticed it. And it made it very easy to get on this bike, this ultra limited of squids. Take a few moments. I was rocking bar lock turns and figure eights, and it felt comfortable. And I wasn't, crazy getting in and out of the friction zone. It was very easy and to stay in the friction zone, and I think part of making it easy to stay in that friction zone is the fact that it's so easy to hold in position and so easy to make minute adjustments as I'm doing bar lock turns. You can find that on a police bike. You'll see the new riders all of a sudden dip the bike, and then because they pull in just a little bit too much, then they'll let it back out to not crash, jump, jerk. They'll grab, they'll stab the rear brake. I can find something like this could make that learning curve. If a police department were to use these and train new students with these type of clutches, the learning curve would be way less because they wouldn't have to deal. They could make those really easy, minute adjustments, less hand fatigue, maybe the gray area, being right off the hand grip a little bit better. But I was thoroughly impressed. And like I say, if I didn't have jumped back and forth to my police bike, I would definitely put one of these on my bike immediately. Let's do this and then wrap it up. Are you searching for the easiest and quickest attachable luggage system for your motorcycle? Rick Rack has just what you're looking for. Forget all those frustrating straps and bungee cords that can come loose and slap your paint. Check out one of Rick Rack's awesome quick attach strapless luggage rack systems. This father-son team designed something really special. Can't find it anywhere else. Yep. And these guys ride, so they truly understand the needs of bikers. The Rick Rack quick attach system is strong, durable, and secure with a lockable system. Also, check out their full line of quality touring bags to accompany your quick detach system. Once you use Rick Rack, you'll never go back. What are you waiting for, bikeaholics? Head over to the Law-Abiding Biker store and check out our full line of Rick Rack systems and bags. All right. So, yeah, I think we're going to work on that, Lurch, after our trip. We'll get the full AIM Force system in the store for you guys so that you can get us, because you're going to watch this video, and I have full confidence without testing it that the conversion, if you want to convert over to hydraulic from from cable, that the AIM Force would do a great job, and I will test it at some point. And at some point, when I get a new bike, that if Harley maintains their cable system, I will definitely be converting immediately. Just any new bike. I mean, look at all the metric bikes, street bikes. They're coming with hydro. It frustrates me that Harley went back to it. Can I ride it? Absolutely. I can ride the course just as fast with a cable. I've already mentioned that. So it's not that. It's just with technology. Now, Harley did have some problems up front when they first released their hydraulic clutch system in 14. In fact, I was one of the first recalls, talked about it before, but they fixed it all. They fixed it and they had them nailed down. And I still can't get an answer. Harley says it's because, riders generally, that's their claim. I don't know who they interviewed for that and or their experience level. But anyways, that's their claim to fame. I think it was to save money, but I don't know that. Harley has been on their behalf really good at listening to rider feedback in recent years. So anyways, what do you say, Lurch? What do you like better?
In the early days, I would have said I prefer the cable clutch just because that's what I was used to.
I did too at first.
And you could adjust it, right?
Right.
You could have it closer to the grip if you wanted to. And, I mentioned earlier when I jumped on your bike, that thing jerked out from underneath me because
the friction zone is out farther and it's narrow.
Yeah. Yeah. But, once you get used to it and you find it, I can get in the gray area of mine just fine. And it's maintenance free. You just ride it until it's done. I mean, there's no adjustments. We've been on trips before where one of the guys had a bike he had recently bought, and the gentleman before him that had it put the bars on and lengthened cables, but didn't remember to tighten down the jam nut or didn't tighten it down enough.
Yep.
And he was riding, and all of a sudden he couldn't get his clutch to disengage, and so he had to kill his bike. So it's just so much easier to maintain and use. There's a reason that
was that Oscar's bike you were talking about?
No, that was Mike's.
Yeah, we had to do it on Oscar's too. We had to add a dealership, put it on its side. We have our own tools.
This was just the adjustment on the cable. The nut had backed out, and so he came out of adjustment that way. But it's just there's more opportunities for your, like you said earlier, your friction zone to change or to fail, and then like the adjuster can back out. I don't know. It's the closed system on the hydraulic. Now that I've gotten used to it, I prefer it. And we'll see who switches first, you or me, whoever gets a newer bike. And if it has the cable clutch on, we'll be installing a conversion on it for sure. I prefer, I say all that crap now to say that I prefer the hydraulic now.
Yep. It's anytime you change, at first you're going to be hesitant because you're so used to something. Humans don't like change in general, and that's what happened with the hydraulics. But once everybody rode them, they're like, oh yeah, I like hydraulic. But all right. Now, we love our patron members. We want you to become a patron member. We want to get to know you better. We want to give you the plethora of benefits for becoming a member. We'll get you in the private Facebook group, all that stuff. But hey, for whatever reason, if you just want to support us through a flat donation, well, we never balk at a flat donation. I want to thank the following people.
I'd like to thank Graham Snyder of Yakima, Washington. He asked a question and donated. Thank you.
Right here,
Graham.
hometown.
Appreciate that.
Attaboy.
John Nardaboff of Chestnut Ridge, New York, and Larry Phillips.
lawabidingbiker.com/donate. And we certainly appreciate it. It helps put a little fuel in the Law Abiding Biker gas tank.
So we can keep this thing running on down the road.
All right. Any follow-up on anything, Lurch, that I know I'm on my soapbox about hydraulic. Do what you do. You do you, boo.
Well, this is...
But I hope my experience...
Yeah, there you go.
And doing the pros. I gave pros and cons to both. And I told you how to fix some of the cons and the pros or cons with the hydraulic. I don't think I was unfair.
No.
There's pluses and minuses to everything. You're going to like what you like. I just hope if you are one of those, that it opened your eyes on some certain things. But if you can swing it, I would definitely, of course we carry it in our store and you're supporting us, but we got it in there immediately after I wrote it. I said, Lurch, that's going in our store. Contact that company, see if we can sell them. It was that quick. That day. I was like, holy shit. Cause I didn't know anything about it before that day. So that's how much I like it. And you will love it. You will absolutely everything about it, the way your bike rides and feels and your friction zone. your hand fatigue. There's nothing, I can't say a con about it. Go ahead.
They've been a great company to deal with. I think they ship out of California. So when Huntington Beach, California. Hey, we're going to be in that area. We might have to pop
We got
in
a
there.
VRBO.
Yeah, we'll have to remember that. Maybe we'll,
depending on where the address is.
yeah, we'll see. Maybe we can.
Well, if it's in Huntington Beach, it's not that big a city.
Right.
Dude, that'd be cool, huh?
Yeah. So it's been great to deal with. Yeah, as soon as we order, I mean, we've got stuff in a couple of days. It's a great company, stand behind their products, and I'm thankful to Squid for turning us on to them.
Yep. Good job, Squid. He'll be going on the trip with us too. Thanks, guys, for sticking around. We hope you appreciate the OpenAI and Chat GPT. I sent you that. I put in Workflowy that first thing about the clutch.
Yeah.
About how it explained it. I put it in Workflowy here. You can, I'm not saying it just gives you an idea for your article. We would never use this, but there are, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Because you're going to write a post on this.
Right.
And it has some good language, except they, did she make a mistake in here?
Well, they say that
they are typically cable clutches. I will say hydraulic. I'm going to change that because it's not tie.
Well,
I'm fixing.
I would say easier to maintain while the because the cable clutch is easier to adjust.
Oh, adjust and maintain.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I would just say adjust.
Yeah.
Not necessarily maintain.
Yeah.
And they are generally less expensive to repair or replace. That's not true either on a Harley.
Depending on
you
what
can clean that up.
Yeah.
Plates are plates. It doesn't matter. But anyways, you can clean that up. Some of it, but it'll just jog your mind so that you can write your article. All right, guys. Woo! Thanks for being here. This is the second episode. The last one was an hour and a half too. This is an hour and a half.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
1 hour 26 we're at by the time this is done. But yeah, we're and we got one more to go because we got behind with as busy as I've been, and we're batch processing these. But yeah, all you patron members, you'll be listening to these right away. Lurch is going to pump these all to Patreon before we leave.
Hopefully
pump
you can
these.
get them uploaded tonight. I can get them.
Oh, they'll be in Dropbox in 2 minutes. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Then I'll get it done tonight or tomorrow morning.
Perfect. And so they'll be in the back end of your patron accounts. So you unedited, raw for the most part. We just trim the beginning and end. And yeah, there's so you can have them right away. The ones that come out in regular podcast format to the regular listening audience, those are a little more refined, so to speak, a little more produced, but
a little cleaned up.
Yeah, so you get a little access to the more raw version too when you get them in the back end of your patron account. So we did that one. There we go. We got one more to go. Just cleaning some things up here. Thanks, guys. I hope you're all out there getting some riding in this season. We're moving into the new law-abiding biker store facility that we bought. Hopefully you've watched that video on the YouTube channel in June. And we're just going to keep adding more products and ramping things up. We appreciate your continued support and looking at the law-abiding biker store for, we don't sell everything, but we sell a lot of stuff, and we definitely appreciate you guys shopping in there. And of course, another trip, thousands and thousands and thousands of miles on the Biker Gripper, the best, sexiest, sleekest cell phone motorcycle mount on the market. That's why we sell the hell out of them. Perch mount and also universal bar mount. You won't be disappointed with that bad boy. Get hooked up with one right in the Law Abiding Biker store, black and chrome.